This is my MacBook Pro. This is my daily driver. But should it be yours? Let's find out. It's really not the best lighting in the world, however, we will work with it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I wasn't planning on making this video at all. In fact, I was planning on leaving for the foreseeable future. However, I don't know. But after the Apple event that was on November 12th, I thought, you know what, it might be worth making this video as it's something I know I can actually talk about, I can give actual constructive opinions on, and hopefully you want to hear it. So what I have right here is a 2020 Thunderbolt port 2020 MacBook Pro 13-inch, and this is my daily driver. As I said, as you can see, it says my name here. But going back to the main question, with these new Apple Silicon chips announced that are going to be in all these new Macs, this base model MacBook Pro isn't available anymore from Apple, brand new. It's been replaced by an Apple M1 13-inch. So you can't get this anymore. So I'm not saying should you buy this, because you can't. What I am saying is, should you exchange this or sell this and replace it with a new MacBook Pro 13-inch? Because that's what I am, or was, contemplating. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So obviously we won't go into specs because that's not really the point. When we're comparing these specs to the Apple M1 chip, they're not going to be similar in terms of power to performance. Efficiency is going to be a lot better with these Apple M1 chips, regardless of whatever the case of thermal components. We're not comparing this to the MacBook Air because that's fanless. I've never had experience with the MacBook Air, however I do have a friend that has a MacBook Air, so we'll ask him later on. In fact, let me ask him now. Well then. So whilst we're waiting for that, let's just jump into it. So as I previously stated, this is the 2020 MacBook Pro base model 13-inch. And it's running Big Sur. We won't go over the operating system right now, but just know that all Macs will come with this now, and it is better than Catalina. Obviously, design is a point of contention, but we'll gloss over that. Every MacBook Pro now comes with a touch bar and with the Magic Keyboard. There was also talks of if the butterfly keyboard would come back with these new MacBook Pro models, with all of these Mac models except for the Mac Mini, but it never did. We've still got Magic Keyboard, it's still all good, we still got the escape bar, it's all Gucci. I'm also editing this video on the MacBook Pro. Well, first off, with design change, there isn't one. And also, going the same trend as the lack of design, the prices haven't changed either, with like similar specs. Obviously you got the M1 chip, which is like the point of the video, but the storage is the same, the RAM's the same, and if you want to get more storage, it is literally 200 quid, and that's 200 quid too much. And they're still even selling the old MacBooks with the Intel processors, but really, even then, there's no point in getting the more expensive processors when, in theory, this M1 chip should be better than them. So apart from that, what else is there to love about these new Apple laptops? Well, I've got a couple of points written down right here, right now. Takes me a while to read. Efficiency in a small form factor. So this is more attributed to the MacBook Air because it doesn't have a fan. We'll go into that as a disadvantage. It's a bit of a blessing and a curse anyway. But basically, these are really small chips that don't output a lot of heat. So like with the MacBook Air, it doesn't need a fan for as much power as a Intel chip would need. And that's how you also get the 17 hours of standby time that Apple is saying for this MacBook Pro. Not standby time, I think it's watching videos. Anyway, as I said, heat and speed, so the ratio compared to these Intel chips, you'll be able to get a lot more power for a lot less wattage. So the power per watt is way better on these SoCs than they are on these Intel chips. There's native support for iOS apps, so you'll see in the Apple event that they had Among Us playing in the background. Basically all that's saying is that all these iOS apps, all they have to do is do a little tick on the developer bit and you can play it on your Mac now. But it's not all peace and paradise. There's a couple of bad things coming with these chips. So I think the main thing for a lot of people is there's no native support for Windows, means that Boot Camp isn't on these Apple SoC laptops, which is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit not great, but when you just want a gaming PC anyway, why would you want Windows on a Mac? Don't answer that question because I've got Windows on that one. And then there's also a lot of stuff for a lot of apps that developers are going to have to recompile so that they work natively on this new chip design, on this Apple-made silicon. And then here's the main thing, which sort of shows what they couldn't do with these chips, which is that there's a maximum of 2 USB-C ports on all of the Macs announced, which is a bit, it's not great, is it? So if you want like 4 USB-C ports on a MacBook Pro, you have to go Intel. So conclusion, I'm keeping this. Intel's will still be updated. I'd say don't upgrade unless you've got an Apple laptop that's 2 years older than this one or whatever, and you just want an upgrade. These M1 chips aren't bad. It's going to be seamless. It's not going to be like Windows, where there's going to be a lot of limitation and the emulation isn't going to be good. It's going to be really seamless, it's going to be fine, it's going to be dandy. So I'm going to keep this because it's done me really well and it's as powerful as that, if not more powerful, and I do need a new desktop. So personally for me, it's either getting a new phone or getting a new desktop. I really need a new desktop. So later on, I'm saying a lot of so's. Basically, I'm just trying to be really quick so I don't run out of storage. In an upcoming video, you'll see me unbox. In a later video, you're going to see me unbox either an iPhone 12 mini or a Mac mini. So that's been me. I don't really know what I want to do in terms of videos after this. I might do one on that, I might not. But yeah, I'm sort of back. As I said, I'm still going to take a little bit of a break. But hopefully you enjoy this video and you watch some other stuff. As I said, I still need to sort of work out what I want to do with this channel. But this video is here to entertain you in the meantime. And all my others, of course. So this has been me, Vapid Square. I'll see you in a bit.